Hi folks, this is John again, once again with GMIT Label. The purpose of this video is I've sold a number of dispensers, and there's always questions about the dispensers and exactly how do they look when they're operating, how will they come, and how do you put them together. Not that there's anything complicated, but you know, sometimes a quick video does a lot more than somebody reading through a manual or anything like that. But more importantly, the dispenser that I want to show is a wide label dispenser, specifically because a lot of people have questions about that, and they want to know, is it one of those where you pull the liner, or does it actually peel and present the label and so forth. This particular model does, so I thought I'd start from scratch and actually show how it's going to come in the box and unpack it and show it. And the whole video probably will take about 5 minutes. As I mentioned, there's not a lot to it, but once you've done it once, you can do it 10,000 times after that. The particular model I'm showing is a DX850. It is a wide label peel and present dispenser. It will handle up to a full 8-inch diameter roll of labels. It media label liner width that it can handle anywhere from 1 inch up to 8 3/8 inches. The supply core, you can have a 2-inch or a 3-inch. Most standard rolls of labels come on 3-inch cores, so pretty much you'll be fine with that. And then the feed speed is 4 inches per second in a default mode, and then 2 inches per second in a half speed mode, basically for the 6 to 8 inch wide label, just simply because they're much bigger and so forth, so it takes a little bit more weight and a drag to feed it. But the actual feeding of the labels and the way you're handling it, these speeds are actually better than you'll ever need, just simply because when you have a wide label, the person pulling it and has to position onto the product, it's going to take them time. So the speed is more than enough to accommodate them. So what you're seeing is basically how it's going to appear when it arrives at your location. And once again, I'm doing this for the benefit of people that are looking to buy one, or just information gatherers, but also, more importantly, customers that have bought dispensers off me. I'm trying to give them an idea of what to expect when they receive it and so forth. So you're going to receive it, and you'll see where it comes and has all the instruction manuals and certifications and so forth. And then basically you start unpacking it. I'm going to do a full unpack here and actually show you how it goes together. So this way, if you wanted to refer back to the video, you can do that. Let me just kind of push this out of the way here. You'll see it's nicely packed, high quality. Everything about this is quality, just simply because these machines actually will do a lot to save your production. But you're going to have, in the machine, you're going to have a number of parts. First and foremost is your supply, which you see here. And in the interest of saving some time, I already took the plug out and have the plug sitting here. That's what you see kind of sticking to the one side, but I'm actually going to plug this in so you can see it, just so the cord doesn't fall out of the way. So you have your supply requirements sitting, your supply pack sitting there, and then you'll have a couple other things, and I'll show you what these are as we take them out. This is package 1. You'll see there's 2 packages here, 2, 3, and then the machine itself. And once again, the machine is in plastic, and they did it nice where you can just lift it out by the plastic. The machine overall weighs 11.5 pounds. Shipping weight's going to be 16.5 to 17 pounds. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but you can see it is high quality packaging because they take great care in delivering this product to you. So you get it in first class condition and so forth. So what we're going to do is we're going to start unpacking this and putting it together. Give you a flavor of how it works. As you can see, just take the plastic off the machine. Once again, the machine weighs about 11.5 pounds, 12 pounds, so you should easily be able to pick that up and take that out. So you take the plastic off, and then underneath there's a little support piece of foam just to keep the stabilizer bar, the pinch bar, stabilized. I'll show that to you in a couple minutes. Then you have the 2 guides. You got your first guide here. In fact, let me slide this all over here. You got your first guide, and I'll show you how this goes together. Second guide, and then you have the what the core, what the label will actually sit in, and you can see the label roll labels will go in. This is kind of like a core stabilizer bar. It's spring loaded. It's also magnetized, so it just pops under so you can position that fairly easy. All that's meant to do is to take any jumping out of the core as you get down to the very end of the roll of labels and so forth. And then also and this fits, by the way, like so, right in here. And these guides, you can do it one or two ways. I always choose to do it this way. Also, they have the heavy duty magnets. There's a reason for the magnets though, is so that you can easily change labels, and we'll actually do that. What's important to note is this machine is all metal. It's built to last. It's heavy duty. It has a mechanical sensor in it. And also the machine has some weight to it to support the heavier rolls of labels so that the dispenser is not rocking, moving, and you can't just bump it and shift it out of the way and so forth. So let me just flip this over too. I'm going to take this off just so I can show you the back. And back here you have your on off switch, and this is where your electricity will plug into. And then as I mentioned in the front here, you have, flip this over, you have a pinch roller, and I'll show you how to lock that in. And then over here is where your label actuator is. This is adjustable depending on the label you have and so forth. This also is adjustable. That's key to remember. And the reason why is if you're dealing with a smaller label, you want this up here, a longer label, you may bring it all the way down. So hopefully you can see all that. So let's plug this in over here. Okay, we got it plugged in. And we got it turned on. And I'm going to turn it off here for a second while I put the labels on. And I'm going to use a big, heavy, beefy roll of labels. It has a liner, a label material, and also has a over laminate on it for a gloss appearance and protection. So I actually chose this just simply because I want a heavy roll on here so you can see what it's capable of doing with these heavier rolls. And the other thing, and this is kind of a key question, is, well, what if my labels are perfed? Well, we'll start breaking the perfs and so forth. Well, this particular roll of labels is extremely heavy, and it is perfed. Now, as you can see, I slid that on here. The actuator or the stabilizer is inside the core itself. And then I'm going to take and put the other guide on by lifting this up and slide this right in here. I have some play in it. In fact, I'll even give it a little bit more play. Just simply because you don't want a lot of drag. These are heavy. Now let's go ahead and actually load this up. Let's pull this out. You'll see there's two thumb switches right here. Very easy. Just drop this over here. And let's go ahead and start feeding this through. So first we bring it around like this. And then we want to feed it underneath this way. After you do this a couple times, there'll be no problem. You'll be a pro. You want to bring it, you can do it two ways. You can bring it out the front or underneath. I choose to bring it underneath like this. Just simply because I'd rather have the liner drop off to the back into a waste container or just drop onto the floor, whatever is convenient for you and so forth. But most people use a trash basket back there. Now this, the power roller, this actually locks it in place against the power roller itself. There's two, as I mentioned, two little handles here for like your thumb. And I'm going to be quiet here a minute so I can lock this in. You can actually hear where it drops and it locks. So you have that tightness against that roller, so when it starts to drag the label through and so forth, you shouldn't have any problem with it. Let's power it up. Let's do a start. And as you see, it's going to continue to come around and cycle. Now if we wanted to, we could slide this up. Let's do it again, and it should come out and stop. So as you can see, it stopped as soon as it hit the actuator switch. We're going to take that off. We're going to put that on our product, and as we're positioning it, smoothing it out, another one's already been presented. You know, it's just a matter of taking it, lifting it out, putting it onto the product. And as you can see, your operators will certainly find this a lot easier than trying to peel those labels and discard it and then grab a corner as it's folding over on them and folding onto itself. This is much easier to work with. And I'm going to take a minute just to actually see if the camera is in focus to see all that. It is. In fact, I'll even drop it down a little bit. And I'll take it in some. But as you can see, it is rather simple to use. It's an easy task. Now real quickly, there's a couple buttons here. You have your start, stop, you hit it, and in other words, even if you lift this up, it wouldn't come on. But you also have your counter reset, where you can press this down and you hold it for 2 seconds, and as you can see, your counter goes back to 0. So once again, reset, hold 2 seconds, back to 0. Now if you take one, and let's say for whatever reason, it's like, okay, I'm not going to use this, it's not really 1, so I need to decrease it. So it goes back to 1. And the same thing, if you want it to take it back up, it goes back up to 2. So you're good to go. First time you hit it, hold it for 2 seconds, and then if you're still working with it, you can increase, decrease, and so forth as you need to use it. And just to repeat, the counter reset, press, hold for 2 seconds, and it's back to 0, and you're good to go. So basically, this is your machine in a nutshell. And I have to stress, this is all metal, 11.5 pounds. It's a nice, beefy, sturdy machine. It's built to go into a plant and work there for many years, speeding up your production, but also to make your employees and the people actually doing the labeling, making them a little bit more happy, because it's a lot easier working with this than trying to peel it off the labels, the label rolls themselves, and have them curling in on themselves and so forth. So now let's do this. Very quickly, I'm going to go ahead and power this on. And I'm going to change this over to a smaller label just to show you the adjustments that we were talking about and so forth. So let's take this out. Once again, we're going to reach in here, grab the 2 handles, and pull that drive roller stabilizer bar away from the drive roller itself. I'm going to fold this over onto itself, because I don't want to waste it. This. And we'll take this off, lift it up. First thing I want to do is take this out here, take the roll off, as you can see. And if I'm moving away from the camera, it's because these rolls truly are heavy. And that's the reason why a machine like this is so important. So, is you got to have something beefy. And as you can see, I'm loading this. Once again, I'm putting this right in here, and if I have to position it, I can do that by just moving this, because it is magnet, which kind of helps out a lot, so you're not messing with thumb screws and so forth. Let's pop this back into place here. There you go. So we've got that in place. Let's put a guide over here, which we could do there. And we'll put a guide here. We got some play in it. That's okay for us. We're going to take a couple labels off of this. You don't have to do that. I do it just simply because it makes it a lot easier. And we're going to load this up real quick, like so. Like so. I'm going to reach under here and actually pull this way. Move this out of the way here. And I'm going to move this more towards the middle, as you can see. Now what's important, because this is only 1.25 inches, this label will actually continue out here and start wrapping on the bar. So you want to make sure you move this up, because you want it to stop. I'd say go up as far as you can, and you can adjust it back, as long as that label doesn't come out here and start wrapping onto a bar or something like that. So let's take this, and once again, listen for the noise. We locked it into place. And I think we pretty much got this stabilized. Let's turn this on. Let's see what we get. And you know how demos, you always hold your breath because you want to make sure it works. There. As you can see, the smaller label came out. If I wanted to now, I can even back this off a little bit this way. And as you see, when I back it off, it keeps coming out and out. So back a little bit more. Take it off. Take it off, 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 take it off. And there you go. That's basically how the machine works. Hopefully you'll agree. It's simplicity. It's a good machine. If you have operators that are applying these to bags, big containers, whatever it may be, there's nothing like a peel and present dispenser versus one of those ones where you kind of pull the liner and so forth. This is a lot easier. It's easier to change out a roll and so forth. You know, especially with these guides that are all magnetized rather than where you're messing with thumb screws or actual flathead screws or Phillips screws, that kind of stuff. So it works nice. It gives you a nice counter if you want to track your production that's going on and so forth. But it's a good machine. That's the total package. Hopefully this video will help you out a little bit. Once again, John at GMIT Label, www.gmitlabel.com. Thank you.